All right, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Jalan from the Paradox Gaming Network, and as you can see, I've jumped into Atlas Reactor to showcase a couple of things that's changed in the last few days. The first is that we have finally gotten Chapter 5 of Season 3 open. This is going to run us into 10 October, so it's a month to complete 5 missions. The first couple are easy, 5 season levels and 10,000 total damage. The next one, 5 matches with a friend. It is sometimes difficult to win 5 matches with a friend. String of bad luck or whatever. One trick you can do is at the end of the match that you win, you can still friend the people. That will oftentimes trigger credit for this. Earn 2,500 flux from matches. As you can see, this has only been out for a day, and I'm already finished with that. And earn 100 prestige points from ranked matches. That's also good, getting more and more people into ranked category. Don't be afraid to go ranked to get this done. I know a lot of people usually skip the ranked quest, but just jump in a ranked real quick and see what it's about if you're playing Atlas Reactor on a regular basis. Alright, the other reason I'm doing this video today is to introduce you to this ugly as sin genetic hamster named Isadora. She is a frontliner, and she is right at the top of the food chain when it comes to comparison by stats alone. As you can see, she's 8579, so that is right up there above some of the freelancers, but she has one huge vulnerability, and I'm going to come into abilities and I'm going to show you. She has this ability that's in your normally ultimate slot. She does not have an ultimate ability. She has suit up, which puts her back into the hamster ball if it's been shattered, or it re-energizes the hamster ball shield. So that is one thing you need to be aware of. You do not have a game-changing ultimate ability. The other one is outside of the ball, her basic attack is more powerful. However, her scamper, her dash is very short. It's a two space, really. It's a 2-space dash. It doesn't usually get you out of the way of much. However, you can move afterward. So you want to make sure you're building up as much energy as you can, and keeping that shield up. She synergizes very well with Helios, keeping shields on her all the time. Now, normally when I do these matches, I like to go into a regular PvP match. However, it's been very difficult to get good footage on Isadora, so let's jump into a match versus the bots and see what she has to offer. Now, I'm actually not going to be too concerned about winning or losing a versus bots match. But what I am going to do is be really concerned with showing you some of these combos and how her abilities work. So realize I'm probably going to end up dying faster than I normally would. Now, the nice thing about her lasers is it goes through one target to another. You can center this target on one person or two. It also, as you saw, since I'm going behind Rask, bypasses his cover. So that is one benefit. That's an interesting move for an NPC Quark. Now I'm going to show you one of these early combos that I talked about. This reactive chains, I'm going to actually tether myself, much like Quark, to all of the targets within a radius of me. And then if you read tether, or reactive chains, if any enemy or you dashes farther than 2.5 spaces, the tethers will react. pulling the enemies up to 3 squares towards you. You gain energy per target hit and per tether that reacts. And if nobody breaks the tether, this cools down. Well, that's insane with Zippy Line as your mod because it's a free action on a 4-round cooldown and you can drop it to 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scamper away over here because I want you to see that pull. I'm also going to activate my Going Ballistic, and it's going to do 14 damage, and since I'm missing a little bit of shield, it's going to do damage, extra damage based on that. So you're about to see a pretty big combo of skills, and since this is 5, well, I won't hit anybody with, well, I might hit anybody with this. This should be 4 and 4 on the hit for 8, 4 and 4 on the react for 8, so that should be 16. And since I want energy back, I'm going to go ahead and energize. And then 5 energy, I'm not going to hit anybody with the scamper, but I am going to get the 5 base. So this should give me a nice healthy amount of energy after this round. Now, as you can see, when these pull, you got to think about the synergy you can develop. You can pull people into, say, Zuki's AoE drop. You can pull them through a Helio wall. So you've got a lot of options on how to best utilize that tether pull. Now, as you can see, my shields are gradually weakening, and as I told you, I'm going to become very vulnerable when those shields go down, but I'm going to continue to do my job as a frontliner, and I'm going to try to keep these two engaged, fully wanting to pop out of my bubble, actually. Now, as you saw, that Going Ballistic did in fact trigger, so it gave me extra energy. Unfortunately, they were able to do just enough damage to me that they've popped me out of my magic hamster ball. So now I'm a very vulnerable character. But you'll notice that my scamper cool down reset because my ball was destroyed. Now you'll see these crystals, these green crystals around. Those are parts of your hamster ball, and you want to try to get those. Now again, the short two spot dash on the scamper when you're out of your ball. I'm going to scamper to this crystal, and then I'm going to run towards the health because Quark being tethered to me, I have no way to lose Quark unless Quark goes the other way. Now, I actually ended up not taking any damage, and since my team is AI, I'm not going to worry about this health bubble. But normally you don't want to take a health bubble if you don't need it, or unless you're blocking an enemy from taking it. Now, as you can see, without my suit on, my head laser thing is much further of a distance, and that end circle is much bigger. However, there's still nobody in my way, and I'm at 100 energy, and I'm really just trying to not get attacked this round. So I'm going to tag that just because I don't know who's around enemy-wise. And then I'm going to, next round, get back into my hamster ball. Now, as you can see, while the NPCs do their thing, suit up is not a free action. It is going to take your action for the turn. And you also have you do not generate energy naturally, and you lose all your energy upon death. So a lot of people that I've seen thus far panic immediately, and they always jump right into their hamster ball. Well, I'm going to do that right now because I have no other play. But if I had the option to possibly help kill Quark, I might want to sit out of my hamster ball for a turn and then work on restoring my life through trusting my healer or health notes. So now we are basically reset back to all abilities off cooldown. And so just going to attempt to finish out this match and see how we respond to troublesome situations, if any come up. However, I don't think they will. Now you'll also see this is an incredibly short dash, even in the hamster suit. So it doesn't really give you the opportunity. You notice all of my ranges are a lot shorter than other frontliners. I have no way to get close. So you're going to spend a lot of time not doing much unless you think about your moves several seconds ahead. In a real match, this would be going much faster, but since this is a versus bots match, the timer is infinite. Now, here we go. This would appear to most people like a horrible situation, but you see I will be grabbing 3 of them with tethers, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did early on, except this time I'm going to tether. I'm worrying about Quark. I'm going to tether, and I'm going to dash to this spot, doing damage here, and I'm still going to pull Quark over into this cluster. And as we all know, the last thing you ever want to have happen is you never ever want to be clustered, because the more you're clustered, the wrong character is going to just chew up your entire cluster. Now, as you can see, I somehow managed to make it through that center board engagement and only lost a little bit of shielding. I'm really low on energy still, so I don't necessarily want to reactivate my shield to cover the gap, because I'd only be getting the energy. I'd get 30 more shields. I could apply damage here, or I can apply damage there. In this case, as I've said, she is more about energy generation, not necessarily damage application. You have to let your other teammates worry about a lot of the damage application. So I'm going to notice that Doc, Finn, is pulling them all here. So I'm going to get myself into a position where I can capitalize on that next round. Now again, you see the energy generation is particularly slow. I'm actually going to let a quark pop me out of my uh, hamster ball. I'm going to basically show you what the laser from a non-hamster ball attack looks like, and then that should have given you a sufficient overview. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna die unless I dash, and I could dash if I wanted to save my life. But the difference is, look at that damage, and uh, just the ability late game when you fall out of your hamster ball. That would be a huge amount of damage. I choose to take the Energize catalyst, as you saw, but a situation like that, having the Might one might have been better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get obliterated by Quark, and then I'm going to drop us back into the front menu to look over the mods real quick. Alrighty, for Isadora and her abilities and mods. In the first one, that Doom Ray, uh, you have the choice of 3 additional energy per enemy hit, or you can go with increases damage, or reduce the range even further but increase the radius while you're in the force ball, or increase the damage and increase the explosion radius on your first turn outside the ball. Personally, I like the idea of additional energy because you need energy to keep that shield up. On the Scamper, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 2 when Suit Up is used while on foot. So if you have used it and you suit up, it will reduce your ability. On foot, you can increase your range by 1. The Pellet Hunter, if you dash onto an energy crystal, gain an additional 10 energy. This is actually an interesting one to me, since that first thing is first and foremost, you want to get your energy built back up. Another one that I have looked at is the no cooldown if health is below 30, just cycling health constantly. The reactive chains, you can pull distance by 3 more, gain 3 energy per enemy hit, and tether broken, reduce the cooldown. So if you were to go down to on foot so that you stayed more mobile, then you could in fact go 3 additional energy and do an energy cycle. And I didn't unlock some of these last night because I wanted to unlock them today when I was cutting this, but now I'm going to most certainly try a different build to give my final opinions on her. The free action, if you're on foot when the explosion is set off, increase the damage done by 6. And then when force ball is destroyed, gain energized. I have decided that of all of that, that is the most important one to me because getting 50% more energy for 2 turns is huge. Will tell you that I have run a pile of pellets for 3 additional crystals, but because it throws them out at such a radius, it's a little bit difficult to accumulate them. But since changing Scamper to the Wily, if we went back to pile of pellets, then on the we would have an extra point for going ballistic or yeah, going ballistic. It would give us an extra point if, say, we wanted to take uh, enemies next to you are rooted. Now, that that helps if you're trying to set up a first move. I root you, I chain you, but I'm gonna have to try this build. But all in all, after playing several matches with Isadora, I'm gonna say not recommended for a new player, but totally gonna change how some fights go. Hey, you. Yes, you. Yeah, yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Hit that subscribe button. Watch a couple of more videos. Go check out our website.